Welcome to the third episode of The Coleman Show. Today I am joined by
Nate Peterson
and
Nate Harrison.
and we are at Ave Maria University. Man, first off, I want to thank y'all for being so welcoming to me. Like, this is my second week of school, and like, y'all really made me feel like family. So on today's episode, we're gonna talk about how to stay connected to God as an athlete. To me, it's really important to stay connected to God. I feel like when I was the furthest away from God, stuff really kind of went south a little bit. And God, He's gonna remind you that, hey, I'm the divine creator, and hey, I'm your father. And so we will really get into the talk today. So the first question is, how important to you is to have God in your athletic space?
So for me, I think that's easily one of my top priorities, especially in high school when I wasn't too close with God. I never really took it serious per se. Like, I didn't really play football. I wasn't really playing sports at the beginning of high school. And when I had transferred to a new school, a new Catholic school, started going closer to God, I started going closer, started praying more. Even had a girlfriend that was also a big believer that helped out too. And I feel like I still wasn't really where I wanted to be. I was still living a lot for the world, even in high school. And even when I got here, I was too. I feel like recently, especially since over the summer and this fall, I've really been locking in a lot more with God and contributing my success on the field to Him, and really finding a connection between Him and what's going on the field, and having Him keep me humble, keep me courageous, keep me determined to keep going, to keep chasing my dreams and goals. I feel like it really is one of the most important things for me to keep Him present with me on the field and tell me to keep going.
Yeah, especially becomes hard too, because we got TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, all that stuff. You become so consumed by like the materialistic world so much. Like, it's so much. Like, you can scroll and see something, and you get addicted to scrolling. Like, you could actually go outside and like experience like conversations how we having right now, instead of just scrolling online and being really consumed by the materialistic point of view of the whole world. So this is really something. We have our next question is, tell me about the times that you already did a little bit, and you told me about the times you felt the furthest away from God, and now talk to me about how you guys felt really close to God.
So coming off my freshman year, I got injured like the first game, and that was really tough for me because I had been working all throughout the summer, coming from my middle school up into high school, trying to fill in and just get with the team, just find my spot on the team. And I had worked my butt off, and when I got hurt the first game, I kind of like fell into like not a depression, but kind of actually we'll call it that. And it was just hard because I worked so hard for it, and then I was just lost. But coming up off that injury, I was able to come back right before the playoffs, and by the grace of God, I was able to come back, and I just really felt connected to God because I shouldn't have been able to come back that early. And just seeing how He moved in and through me, like how I was able to get back on the field and just play. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's real. I feel like especially now, like the age we are, like God is like really like He really punching like especially hard right now. Like with me, before even coming here, like I was kind of set on going to the school in Cleveland just because like it was close like this. Like, we was all close like that, and like the coaches like was really messing with me. But then like my mom was like, something just don't feel right, like about you going up there. And she was like, just pray on it. Like, I prayed on it, and then like Ramsey reached out to me, and then like I ended up here in like a place that like I'm liking, like I'm closer to like my friends. It's like it's not cold. Like, he just told me, even like when it's stuff like seeing rush, you got to make a decision. Like, just keep trusting in like the Lord and God, and that's like what I really feel really close to Him. And our next question is, for you guys, what does it mean to truly live for the Lord, and what does it mean to live for God?
I believe it's really spreading joy, kindness, His word, His saying, His doing. Like, a lot of time I feel people get so caught up in their religion, their Catholic, Protestant, whatever it is. They're so obsessed with like, oh, you can't do this before marriage, you can't do this, you can't do that. And they get so obsessed in those rules and those standards that they lose themselves. They become judgmental, they become flawed in a way. And it's just I wish more people would focus on just accepting people for who they are and trying to better themselves. Like, I don't care if someone's Protestant, Catholic, Baptist, whatever. We all follow the same God. We all are trying to live our best lives and be closest to Jesus Christ. We're all trying to be the closest thing to Jesus Christ in a way, how he was on this earth. And I think that really is like the main focus, is being a follower of Christ instead of being a follower of a religion, and just trying to be your most Christ-like and trying to be the best friend you could be, the best son, daughter, boyfriend, girlfriend, the best anything you could be. Is trying to help all people around you become the best versions of themselves as well, while growing them closer to Christ. And I think that's really important to me. Something like really recently that's like really something like it's recently been something I've wanted to do. Like I've wanted to grow the people around me, the people I love and care about, closer to Christ, so that they could also like reap the rewards that he has to offer. Because so many people are just so obsessed with like living for the world nowadays, like trying to look like someone that they aren't, someone that they don't even want to be, but just like they just try to do that because, all right, I don't want to do this, but I'll look cool if I go to the club. I'll look cool if I have sex with all these girls. And to be honest, I used to be that way. I used to care so much about status and what people thought about me that I didn't treat people with the best respect, and I wasn't the best person to other people, especially females. And I feel like now, like I've really started to open my eyes in that aspect, and I'm really trying to grow as a person, because what I did in the past isn't who I want to be, isn't who I want my kids to think of me as, isn't who I want Christ to see me as. So I'm really trying hard now to grow as a person and mature better.
Yeah, that negative, I was that same way too. Like, and that negative energy just carries so much. Like, it just carries so much in your heart. Like, it makes you have like such a heavy heart. Yeah. And for our next question, how do you guys stay grounded and maintain your faith during times of injury, as you guys talked about a little bit?
For me personally, I try and every night before I go to bed, I read a chapter. So I started in Matthew and reading all the way through, just got through Revelation. I'm restarting it just to go a little bit more deeper. But I just try and take a little bit of time out of my day, take a break from the social media, like you said, and just because that's our life. I mean, that's like who gives us life. Like grounding ourselves in that, making sure that we have our mind right. With that, it was just a big thing for me.
Yeah. Hey.
I mean, really just trusting that, you got injured for a reason, that it's the cross he gives you to carry. For example, the end of my senior year, over spring break, I went skiing, and I sliced my hip open. I had it pretty set up to go to USF to play there, and after that, I met with the coach, and my offer was altered a little bit to a place where I didn't really want it to be at. And that's what really led me back, really led me to Ave. It was really scary and dark point in my life. I felt like I had everything like lined up, and out of nowhere, I lost it. I didn't even know if I'd ever play football again. I was scared and didn't know what was gonna happen. I almost got paralyzed, and I didn't know what was going on, and I put my faith in God. I trusted that this happened for a reason, that he didn't want me at USF for a reason, and maybe this injury was his way of telling me, like, I want you at Ave. So I really trust that it was his plan for that to happen. No matter how bad it may have seemed at the time, I'm eternally grateful for sending me here, because I met my brothers here. I met the people that I want, at my wedding here, and I'm super grateful for that. And from now on, like any injury, I just trust like he has some sort of reason behind why it had to happen. And I just gotta remember to continue to trust him, and what happens is part of his plan, and not to get upset or confused about it.
Yeah, that's great advice. That's a great story. For our last question, what advice would you guys give to young athletes trying to stay connected to the Lord?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a little bit easier since I've always gone to like a private Christian school, so everybody surrounded me as mostly been rooted, and always just that's been a part of their sports and career. But really, it's just like remembering that anything could happen to you at any moment. So like, you just gotta take the time and thank God for it, and remember that He's the reason that you're here where you are right now. And so just like, just gotta remember that. And just keep on going.
Something I really want to like point out is like it's never really too late for you to find God. I know a lot of people that never knew God, never wanted to know God, that have found God now recently. And it's just never really too late to find God. And when you do, it's really easy to connect Him to your sports, and just the determination that comes with it to keep going, to never quit your dreams, never quit your goals, to continue to chase them, to keep going is really important to me. I feel like God is a huge contribution to that.
I want to thank you guys for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all for being on that. And
Yeah, that's it. Thank y'all for watching the 3rd episode of The Coleman Show. I'll see y'all next week.